Megaphone. Hello, everybody, and welcome to this week's VR Creator Club, and happy Halloween for all the spooky people out there. Today, we're going to be talking about actually, before we get going on the topic, for those of you who might be watching who are new, I'm going to start doing a better introduction for people who are new. This is a collaboration between Banter and the VR Creator Club, ran by Justin P. Barnett, where we talk about VR creators or designers and programmers, anyone who's making VR applications. This is for everybody from people who are new to senior developers to come and collaborate and learn about VR together. We have bi-weekly meetings with one speaker a month, and the other meetings are just hang out and chill and network. And this week we are going to be talking about a topic. This is going to be the first time that I'm actually going to be presenting a topic, and it is about creating a virtual game or virtual festival in VR. So, there we go. Hey. So this a couple months ago, I put on a event called the Virtual Odyssey Festival, and it was part of my master's degree from the University of Oregon, where I was looking into how. Sorry about that. I was looking into different ways that you use VR. The program that I was going through is for immersive media communications, which is different ways of looking at how XR can be used in different applications. So instead of just saying, I'm going to use XR as a game, you can think of it as saying, can you make a surgical application for it? Can you make a commercial application for it? And like we're using a social application for XR, and that's not necessarily a video game. So thinking about XR, VR in more than just a straightforward video game kind of way. So the reason I wanted to do this is because there are a lot of VR games out there that have been published, but I always felt that the way that you buy a VR game, could be a lot better. There are two things that really hit me that made it hard. The first thing being the UI and the user interface for buying a VR game is very flat. But whenever you're experiencing a VR game, there's a lot more depth to it. It's 360. You're really inside of it. So I wanted to explore different ways of working with the UI UX of the game buying experience. And the other thing that I was really interested in was trying to figure out how to make it a multiplayer experience. Because whenever you and your friends try to buy a video game, let's say you're in your couch in your living room, you can see the games together, you can get a good idea, you can talk on a call or something like that. And there are a lot of really good multiplayer experiences for buying video games in real life, mostly just being in the same room. And I wanted to somehow mimic that. So with that, I went forward, and I have two mice here, so I'm going to make a lot of mistakes. There we go. I'm going to try to run through this pretty quickly, so just kind of bear with me. One of the things I did at first was trying to figure out what problems I was solving, and those two problems I was talking about, the immersion of the game buying experience and buying games with friends, were the areas that I wanted to do. And um, after that, I tried to figure out how I could solve this problem and what kind of platform I would do solve this problem on. There are actually a few other immersive conference type experiences that I've seen that go from different platform to different platform, but I was trying to figure out which one would work the best. Some of the ones that came up, VR Chat, Horizon World, and Banter, somehow got on my radar, and I'm not really sure how, but uh, due to the proximity of SideQuest and Banter being able to work together so easily, I wanted to kind of pursue that. Additionally, Horizon World is a very kind of closed garden, so I didn't want to try to just work with building blocks and no web access. Uh, this is just kind of also going through some of the research that I did, and this is going to be a running theme throughout the presentation. Is how many different hats that I had to wear to just pull this one event off. It was even though it was a larger event, and going into my decision making process, when I looked at the user engagement on social media for the MetaQuest, like the Pico and SideQuest, all the different stores, I found a distinct jump in actual community engagement with SideQuest. There were a lot of followers and subscribers to Facebook or the Quest, but only in SideQuest over here you had Reddit and Discord users. You had a lot of them and a lot of activity. So it wasn't just people following it for news or updates. It was actually people discussing and talking to each other. So it was a real community to build on. I hope I don't look terrible doing this. Yeah, so then I kind of continued for the very first festival. What kind of people did I want to attend this festival? And I wanted independent VR developers and VR enthusiast early adopters, because this is something that you don't see out in the wild very much. You don't see a lot of VR conferences in VR. It like talking about, you don't see very many VR game festivals in VR. I have seen more and more VR festivals popping up, but they're about things like movies or games or comic books, and I'm just very surprised that I haven't seen more of that. So, on the very first one, I wanted to make sure that I had an audience that understood what I was doing and was able to kind of deal with the process that was included in that. So, I didn't go for generic, what you would call developers, or no, sorry, gamers, because you'd get a lot of people who are younger who would be upset that things didn't work exactly like they wanted to them immediately, and people who didn't have a lot of patience for the process and wouldn't give you a lot of feedback. So by targeting these two audiences, I was able to get a lot more feedback and a lot, even though I didn't have as many people attending, I feel that the quality of the participants was much higher. So the other one is why banter, and that's because of my target audience. They have developers and a lot of people that actually kind of know what's going on in VR. Um, the relationships to SideQuest, like I said earlier, and the Web XR interaction gives you a lot of freedom and flexibility to do almost anything within reason. And even though it's still a newer platform, it's growing rapidly, and I feel like I'm kind of getting onto something before it's big, so you kind of build a strong foundation before you continue. Let's see the plan. Let's see. Design a functional. Oh, I lost my hands. So design a functional VR game store with a running UI, create social media accounts, help get the word out, work with game developers to feature their game booths, build a festival world, and hold a festival. Profit. Actually, there's no profit. There's no profit in any of this. But it's something that I really love doing and something that I really am passionate about. So whenever you're doing something like this, you want to have like a key performance indicators to know whether or not what you're doing is the right thing to do, or like once you're done, once you can look back on things, you're like, okay, how did my key performance indicators turn out? Did I do a good job? Did I do a bad job? And the ones that I chose to focus on: number of impressions and views online, number of developers and content creators that interacted with the event, number of attendees, and trying to see how many people went to my festival and then went and continued and actually bought the game. And then this is where I actually enjoyed more doing stuff like kind of the artistic side. I started to build a brand so that people would be able to see me in multiple platforms and say, okay, I know what that is. I've seen that before. So consistency was key. I started building a logo, and there were more iterations than this, but this is kind of like the quick rapid succession. I went with this. This logo kind of went like a futuristic, I want to call it cyberpunk, corpo cyberpunk, where it's very corporate, but still kind of, you can still kind of have fun with it. Created a brand identity because if you have that, like you maintain that, that standard across all platforms, people will know you, be able to come back to you as much as possible, and once they see you, you kind of become a trusted authority on subjects. So keeping with that, why do I keep looking behind? I also created a I didn't create, but I also commissioned a mascot, and this was not done by AI. It was done by a person because there are a lot of amazing artists out there, and I wanted to support them, and I thought that they could do a really good job. And I thought it turned out really great. Also, if anyone has any questions like throughout, just kind of come up and we can kind of communicate about it. It doesn't have to be just me like spewing as much information as possible at you as fast as possible. But right now, that's what I'm going to do. So I was able to start jumping into the UI. One of the first things that I did was I jumped into Gravity Sketch, which is another program, but it's just like 3D modeling, but in VR. And it was really great for like rapid iterations, trying to figure out exactly how you want things to look. And that's what this larger one over here is. And I was able to kind of figure out how I wanted everything to look. The one on the top left was my first one in Banter, trying to figure out how everything would work and if it would work. And then the bottom right is just like a colored version in Gravity Sketch. And then shout out to Flutter, who was running Shadowmend, and we actually met up at AWE, talked about collaborating, and we built, I used her assets to build the very first UI so that you can kind of get like an idea, and then I could actually get some feedback on how things were working out. Created these orbs, and this is what the final one looks like. You're able to click on the orbs, a 360 image comes down over you, and the music plays. Additionally, you can see right here and over here there's like a phone, and those are the actual game assets, so that whenever you're in there you can kind of get an idea of what the game is going to be like before you play it. So this is what I consider to be like the more immersive part of the experience. And it being on Banter, everything was multiplayer, so I fixed all my problems. Let's see. The other part that I thought was absolutely awesome and had a blast doing was working with game developers. I was able to get 5 separate games, 5 separate developers to come together and present these different games. And I think that anyone knows adding more people adds more complexity and adds more uh, opportunity for failure. So the more people that you work with, the kind of harder it gets. The Dodge All was actually really great. I was able to get them in 1 hour before the actual launch of it, just because of like logistics. I think that they're in Spain, or long story short, they're on the other side of the world, and and I'm in North America, so communicating was very difficult, but very rewarding. So working with all those developers was really complicated, but very rewarding. And then the other part was the amount of programs used to put the festival together. Banter was obviously one of them. Unity, Maya, Substance Painter, Photoshop, Notepad++, and there were a few other things that I'm sure that I used that I just wasn't able to mention. And then I also used some assets uh, because I didn't want to do all of the 3D modeling myself, even though I did do some of it. So just like the level of complexity is incredibly interesting. And then what I was able to come out with was this world here, which I learned a lot about. Created a main section, and then out here on the wings were different game booths that were the UI before, and then I also included a lot of banter specific worlds that people would find interesting. I included some of mine so I could see how many people were able to jump from the festival to my other worlds, because I used Google Analytics, because everything's a website on Banter, to see the spike in attendees during the festival, and then see the spike of attendees in my other world. And I think it was like about 1 in 10 people jumped to another world, and it was pretty consistent. So that was kind of interesting. But yeah, central gathering location, game booths, and banter worlds. And then I also created a map so that people could see it. It was in the main world, but was not big enough. Then I did some other stuff, 3D modeling the shelf that went in front of it, and this was the part that went into Substance Painter and Maya. So doing different store-bought assets paired with 3D modeling very specific assets for the game, or for the event, that were kind of like hero assets. I was only able to have a couple of events, one of which was the opening ceremony. We had a late night after party in the event, developer meet and greet, which was really great, and I did a Bobo VR headset giveaway to just really drive engagement. And I feel that for an event like this, having more community engagement and more events would really make this process thrive and bring a lot more people to the event. I was able to kind of get some sponsors. The first one I cannot pronounce because I'm a terrible person. Helorania, which is a friend of mine who has a video production company, and we were able to create a few different teaser trailers and put some professional grade videos together, which was really great. Banter helped and gave me feedback whenever, even though they did not provide a monetary value, they provided a support value. And then the VR Creator Club, Justin P. Barnett, was able to kind of help drive people to it and promote it. So that was really great. And then this is a lot of the people that went. This was the result of the Bobo VR giveaway. Had people put the hashtag VirtualFest 2024 and tag my account, and these are all the people that entered. And it was really great to see people interacting with the event while I wasn't there kind of gave me a feedback of people are having fun, people are doing things, and it was just really great to see that. So, key performance indicators. How did it go? Like after everything, after I did everything, after I put all that hard work into it, how did it go? What happened? Um, there were 9 people who posted on Instagram, and that to me is a win. That is actually pretty nice to see. Number of developers, there was 5. Number of attendees, 167, and that was actually a pretty good number for me. It was held over 9 days, and there were a lot of turnover, and there's a lot of visibility. And for other virtual festivals that I've seen, they've had a lower turnout with a lot more people working on it. So 167 is actually a very good number. And the part about seeing how many people went to the festival compared to how many people bought the games was actually unmeasurable. um, because most of the attendees were indie developers, and those indie developers are on the Quest store are not able to see how many people bought their game until they have more than 100 people buy their games. So most of them were not able to give me solid feedback on how many people, like what the conversion rate was, because they didn't know either. I did have a couple instances where people bought the game on the spot, so I know that it did drive like a little bit of sales. Just I'm not sure on a grander scale how much that is. And then lessons learned. Ba-da-da. So I wanted to spend more time and attention on like the actual world, the level design that the event was going on. It was a little bit spread out, and one of the problems is I just kind of did all of it myself. And in the future, I'd love to collaborate with more people. If anyone's interested in helping me in the future, I'm looking for volunteers, not a paying gig because it doesn't make money yet. Maybe, I don't know. But if anyone wants to help me in the future, I will be open to that. The other thing is I use only 360 images, and having 360 videos seems like something that people would be very interested in doing. I just wasn't able to get to it in the appropriate amount of time, but being able to have a 360 video of the game would probably make people much more immersed, and that is something that I would like to do in the next one. More activities is something that I talked about previously, just getting people more engaged and having more talks or more community engagement and events for the festival. Um, yeah, and overall, just having more community engagement. One of the reasons that I did everything by myself was because it was my master's thesis. I was trying to get as much done on my own so that whenever I presented it, I could show them that these are all the things that I did. These are the things that I'm capable of. But that was actually a very large handicap in building a larger, more performant festival. So, in conclusion, I would say that the VR Odyssey Festival had limited success, but it showed a ton of potential and a lot of really strong engagement. And I think that continuing having more iterations will really improve the festival experience and make VR festivals VR game festivals specifically, something that could be a staple in the VR community. And the other thing is that it kind of highlighted to me the need for more VR developer to community feedback. One of the things that I saw that was like really great was people being able to go up to the booth and see the game in real time, and the developer was sitting right there, and they were able to hear the reaction from the game. And the people, without knowing it, were giving them real time user feedback, and it was completely honest and completely organic, and it wasn't like a forced situation. So a lot of the developers really enjoyed that, and I think that that could be something that would really bring continue pushing the VR like immersive festival environment. Um, yeah, and I think that it brought at least a little bit of attention to smaller game developers. And the bulk, that's the sum of it. On the left, your right, I have a portal. We're not going there now, but a portal to the demo world. I need to fix a few things, but it can give you a kind of idea of what like the 3D orbs and the UI would look like. Here on Banter, the demo world is going to stay up indefinitely, just as an idea, but the actual festival world I took down and is not for public access anymore. On my right, your left, is actually Flutter's side quest page with a link where you can kind of check out her game. It just came out today. On Flutter, if you want to come up here, I can let you talk. You gotta go. You gotta go around. Oh yeah, you can or not.
I'm in the ground though. Wait.
Yeah, you're good. You just gotta stand up.
I don't know why I'm standing up in real life. Oh, there we go. Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, so I'm just going to talk about, my story game called Shadowmend, which just released today, and it is a free demo. I wasn't sure if it was going to be free or not, or what I was going to do, but it's because it's one story it's the first story of many more short stories that I plan on having in a larger app. So I really want to get people's feedback to see if they like short stories that are about 20 minutes. And if they would like to be in the home library and then just pick what story they want to experience. So this is the first episode of that. And I'm excited. It was in the Virtual Odyssey Festival. And thank you, Arkin, so much for your support. Both for all of my work, whether it's my YouTube channel or even, this game. So really, thank you so much. And what I really did like about the Virtual Odyssey Festival was what you said about talking to developers. I'm not talking to developers, talking to people that are interested in playing my game. Well, yeah, and I liked hearing the other developers talk also. But yeah, having people like seeing you here, it was so cool to talk about my game in this immersive format. So it's so much better than just on social media, which is flat, and it's social media. It's like, but it was so nice to get that feedback where I really felt like I was at a festival. So there's not enough of that. I think this is like the only one I know of. Yeah. So it was really great to get that immediate feedback from people and get questions and and be in front of a professional looking booth. Yeah. I really think that this has a lot of potential. So that's all I wanted to say. So please play my game and leave me some feedback. And I really need the feedback so that I know what to do next for the next phase before I get to the next phase. Go ahead, Arkin. Yeah.
If people want to find you online, what's the best way of doing that?
Yeah. If they want to find me online, I am on YouTube at Flutter VR. That's easy to remember. Or you can find me on LinkedIn. I'm very active on LinkedIn. And so those are probably the two big places. My full name is Christine Ingolson. It's very long. But if you go to Flutter VR, you can find, links to the LinkedIn and the YouTube and all of that. And what else did I want to say about this? There was something in my mind. Anyway, I don't remember right now, but yeah, that would be fantastic if you could just give me feedback. Even, even if you want to private message me, leave a review. And That's another reason, yeah, I made it free is because I want to get as many people as possible to play it so I can get as much feedback before I get to the next phase, which will be paid.
Nice. Thank you very much.
Yeah, thank you.
Does anyone
Oh, wait. Oh, does anyone have
you
questions?
Yeah, I was gonna say, does anyone have any questions or like anything that they want to talk about with either my festival or her game?
Everyone's so quiet. Well, you could ask me
Yeah,
too when I go down there. Yeah.
yeah. Strange
Oops.
Beige is like
Oops.
doing dishes right now. I'm
I
sure.
almost jumped off the stage in the front, but then I thought that might be weird, so I'll go this way.
No,
I'll be proper.
I I I put a barrier.
Oh, you did? Okay.
Yeah,
I
it's
was going
great.
to try it, but
Um, so yeah, that's pretty much everything I have. If any of you guys want to check out the demo world, a lot of you who are here right now have a lot of you who are here right now have actually went to the festival, and I appreciate all of you who were able to attend. And those who are watching later on, feel free to go into the the world menu on Banter and look up virtualfest.bant.ing and go check it out. So that's all I got.
yay.
I've run,
Awesome.
yeah,
Thank you.
I've run out of content for you.
Good job.
Great.
Oops. I'm pressing the wrong thing. Yay.
Yeah. Oh, also, I'm going to be releasing a new world next meeting. With
Oh,
lots of. I can kind of show it, but it's not ready. I put too much stuff in it, and the frame rate's a little low, so I'm doing some
I
optimizing.
understand. Oh, let me tell you.
Um, yeah,
That's why I have that disclaimer right at the beginning. I'm trying not to get people not be mad. I, some people say it works on 2 fine, but I think the frame rate's low on 2. But anyway, so I
yeah.
prefer people play it on 3. So I'm just warning. I just put that up there so people don't leave me bad reviews, but it might happen anyway. I'm ready for it.
I think with the release of
Ready.
the 3S, we
Right.
can
That's what I'm
officially
thinking.
move away from the Quest 2.
I'm hoping. It's starting to happen,
Yeah.
but you never know. There's going to be someone that's upset with me. Oh, they'll find something
That's
else,
yeah.
you know. That's what it's all
Welcome,
about. So I'm ready.
yeah. Welcome to the internet.
Oh,
Someone's
I'm
mad
so
at you.
nervous. I'm so nervous. Oh, but
Okay.
I'm excited. All right.
I'm finally figuring this stuff out. I'm pretty happy.
Yeah.
Jerk. And big. Okay.
Very nice.
Cool. So yeah, now if you guys just want to hang out and talk to each other or ask me questions on a one-on-one, then that's fine.
Oops.
I'm gonna get off the stage and make it more of a kind of hangout
Cool.
until we got another 20 minutes before the event is officially over.
Gosh, that went fast.
Oh.
Yeah, that goes fast.
Yeah, when I did.
I have a question.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, sorry.
Okay, we can all get in a circle now, probably. Yeah.
So it seems awkward that I can't just go directly to download her app. Like, what's wrong with the UI in either Banter or Oculus?
Good question.
Oh,
Because SideQuest, is there a way to do it through the headset? I feel like it's all sideload, but I'm not sure.
Yeah.
I could be wrong.
Yeah. I think the problem is that originally SideQuest was created because the Facebook Meta or the Quest
Yeah, it made it
platform
hard to get
was
your work out there. Mm-hmm.
yeah it was like impossible to like just publish something and get people seen. So now that Meta is a little bit more open, it's not as efficient, but
Right.
it's still
Yeah.
a lot easier for people to get published on there, I think.
So can I just
it
go
is-
to
That's why I
App
used
Lab?
it too, because I'm not on App Lab yet. Yeah, this is I'm going at very slow stages because I want to implement feedback and implement new iterations and until I get to the paid version. Yeah. So that's why I started with
Okay.
SideQuest first. Yeah.
Do you have a
Okay,
formal
cool.
feedback process, or are you just kind of taking messages as people use it?
Good question. I don't have a form or anything. That's a good question. So I don't have a
Yeah.
formal feedback process. I mean, a form might be good. Maybe I'll do that after since you just said that. The one thing I didn't think, well, I did think about it. I just think like direct messages, either LinkedIn is a good one. My email may be available on my website fluttervr.com, and I don't think you could private message on YouTube. But that's what I generally check. I check my email. I check LinkedIn quite a bit. And then if you leave me a wonderful review on SideQuest, that's always great. And yeah, there is a donate link too. So if you feel like you want to throw me a couple dollars, that's there.
Everyone trying to get paid,
I know. I was gonna
as
make it
they
paid, but
should be.
I know. I spent a year full time on it, and then probably 2 years in for the whole thing. If you think of like the concept, but I just felt like it's a short experience, and it's the first one I'm ever putting out there, and I just wasn't ready to ask for money. I'm more interested in feedback right now, so that I can make the next part a lot better. Yeah.
Yeah. And then that's
don't
the
want
great
that to
thing
be a
about
barrier.
publishing on SideQuest.
That's why I'm going
and
into these
then-
small stages. Yes, exactly.
because none
Are
of
you
Part
the
of my
doing
reviews will
strategy.
carry.
episodic?
I
Is
am
it
thinking about
episodic, or
doing
is it separate
episodic as
stories?
well. I am thinking of doing episodic. Well, no, you're right. Episodic's different than, because it would be the same characters. um, I'm thinking of separate stories. I will see what the feedback is. If people really like those characters, maybe I'll change that. The next phase that I'm going to be working on is that home-based library where people are going to start. And so I imagine you start in this library, and it may be customizable, it may be multiplayer. This is all just in my mind right now. I haven't quite developed anything yet because I'm trying to, get this out and get the feedback from that, and finish all the
If-
bugs and everything for this one, and then go
If
from
you
there. But
wanna
I
look
do
at-
imagine it where like you could, yeah, go ahead.
Oh, sorry. The Outer Limits VR
Okay.
is kind of
Okay.
like that. They have about 3 or 4 contained stories, and it's something that you could look at and see like the feedback from from the users of that, and see how
I'll
they
go
like
on
that.
there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's something that's kind of been done, and you can kind of like get a baseline for how
That's
it could,
what I'm thinking.
and
Yeah,
also
but
they
but
are
the home
3D.
base there'll be things to do in there. The home base right now it's gonna be like a cabin, and I want there to be things to do in that area too. I really what I love about VR is just like hanging out in a space. So I'm trying to think of like what I can put in the space that you just want to be in the home library for a while, just hanging out, and then when you want to check out a story, you like maybe take a book off the bookshelf. And I haven't thought of the UI yet for that, but I do want it to be 3-dimensional, and like you're actually picking up the book and then it starts. But
I was listening
right
to this
now it's all
interview with
just
the guy.
concept. Yeah. Go ahead.
The guy that created Gorilla Tag. He was talking
Yeah.
about how he got into VR by just hanging out in lobbies in another game, and he just like
Okay.
fell in love with VR by just like the lobby experience of like socializing in a waiting area. And I thought
That's
that was like a
I
fun.
didn't know that about him.
Yeah.
Okay.
He sounded like a
Very,
fairly
yeah.
like introverted person, but he like realized the potential
That's
of VR by like being able to hang out and talk and.
Yeah, that's because one of my friends actually suggested to me that I should make it multiplayer for that reason, and she said, "Well, wouldn't it be cool if you could visit other people's libraries and it's like customizable because they're all going to be little like cabins, like cute little like sheds you put like where you can do like have a workshop, but it's a library." There is someone on Instagram I follow that really inspired this idea, and I want to have like little ducks around and have it just be just like fun to just be there, like you said, a lobby, but it would be like your
collecting
little library.
trophies from the game.
And I might have and I might have collectibles. So after you go through Shadow Mend, maybe you get one of the little robots, and you could put it like a little statue or something. You could put it on your shelf, something like that.
Be cool.
But I'm just starting that phase. That's going to be this year, this upcoming year, 2025, is going to be all, okay, what is that home environment? And it is like a lobby, I would say, if I decide to go multiplayer.
Yeah.
Otherwise, people will just be by themselves chilling in, in a cabin.
It might be too much. It might be too much effort for you to make a lobby experience if there's like
That's what I think at
these
this
like
point,
very
honestly.
independent stories.
Yeah. And that's what I'm thinking. So we'll see what... Yeah, I agree with you.
Yeah.
But because
No
someone
pressure.
was saying that to me, I know it's already a lot to. Oh my gosh, I was so stressed to be in this first one. So I imagine it's gonna get easier as I keep going. But yeah, multiplayer is a whole nother thing. So we'll see. But I'll probably still be single.
I gotta take off. I'm gonna go look at your demo
Yeah.
space, and then I'm gonna leave.
Awesome. All right.
Bye.
Cool. Bye.
See you later. Have a good day. Wait, no, not through there.
Cool.
There's nothing through
Oh.
there.
Oh, maybe that's what he thought that was. The demo's over there, yeah. Oh. I don't know where he went. Oh, there.
It's this one over here.
Oh, where are you?
Strange
Oh.
Base. This guy.
At your demo?
For the
No,
the
I
VR
was gonna look
festival.
at the Flutters
Oh.
demo.
Oh,
it's.
you have
sorry,
to go
I-
on side quest and download it.
Yeah, sorry, everybody. I
Alright.
know.
If you
Yeah,
want an
I'll do that.
example, though,
the link is over there.
You can in my
You
demo
can see some
or in my
360s. Yeah.
yeah in my demo world,
Oh,
there's
sorry.
360s
Oh my
and
goodness.
sounds from her game. So,
Yeah, I'll just go look at it on side quest. I have
Yeah.
I have a meeting right away, but
Perfect.
Okay.
anyway,
Cool.
Thanks so much.
Have a good day.
Yeah, you too. Have a good one. Okay.
Kurt, how you
I'm
doing?
still not all the way standing up, I think. There we go.
If you on your right
Doing
thumbstick,
okay.
you can kind of.
How do you... Oh, okay.
Yeah, it's weird. Up and
It
down
is
on the right thumbstick.
This is how I.
Oh, that's what it
exercise.
is. You're right. Oh! Okay. Now I
did
see
it.
what happened there. Sorry.
Uh,
Yeah. Sometimes I'm still a little bit weird in VR.
I mean,
Ah!
it's new. I mean, 20 years from now, everyone. will
Even
be
though
fine
I've
in it.
been doing this for a while, I'm still sometimes.
Also, I'm kind of excited because Halloween is happening, and I built like an entire graveyard in my front yard. I have 2
You
fog
did?
machines.
Oh, cool.
Yeah.
Oh my
great.
god, I want to see a picture.
Did put pictures in.
It's-
I know.
yeah, I'll send you. I'll send you a link on
Send
my
me one or
Instagram.
post it somewhere. Yeah,
It's
perfect.
also raining pretty heavily.
Or put it on the Discord. Yeah, maybe
Put it on the
after
Discord, yeah.
I'll put it in the general. Just
It's really
my
windy
Halloween.
here today. Yeah, it's nice, but
Um,
windy.
Yeah, I mean, I hope it stops raining today and the weather gets better.
So, what are your
Are you gonna
plans
go
for the
anywhere?
next,
Oh.
virtual Odyssey? Are you gonna do another one soon, or are you gonna try to repeat
I
this?
haven't. Yeah, I haven't planned anything right now, because I need to get a job and some financial support to be able to do it again.
Hmm.
Okay.
Because I was going to school
hear you.
before, and that's why I was able to do it.
Oh, okay.
So-
okay.
I was going on the GI Bill, and they pay me to go to school, so that was
Yep.
great.
Hmm. That's great.
So once I find a job, that's when
Mhm.
and like I get stable in my life. That's when I plan on doing it again.
hmm
And I'm looking to recruit other people to help me with the process. So I'm not just doing it by myself because that was not the best idea.
I get it.
Now, your slideshow you did, you recorded that?
Oops.
Are you gonna
Oh,
post
no.
that? Or
Yeah, I'll put it on the VR Creator Club page. Additionally, you can see
Okay.
it on the Banter YouTube channel. I don't know how long it's going to
Yep.
take to be posted, but everything was recorded and you can watch it as many times, and I can send you the
Great,
slides
great.
too. So, um, but yeah, it was
No,
just kind
that was
of like,
great work that you did.
thank
Looked
you.
really good. What you did.
It, it was insane how many, after I was done looking back on it, how many different hats that I wore, and like
Oh, for
I
sure.
trying to
Yeah.
get a job now. People are like, "What can you do?" I'm like, everything, but just okay. I can do everything kind
I
of.
understand. As a solo developer, let me tell you, that's how I feel.
Yeah.
What kind of job you looking for?
Um. Obviously, anything in the VR department, kind of looking at design. And I'm kind of. I don't think that it's a position that's available, but ideally, like a management position of like a smaller team, because
Hmm.
I have like a overview idea of how to put things together. Um, and I think that's where um, my skills would be best served, like kind of time management and uh, coordinating different people, because I do focus
Mm,
on the design so much, and like the way that I see design is like a collaboration between art and engineering, where
Hmm.
people are like, it's kind of two people who don't work together very well, and design is somehow in
right.
the middle. Um, but right now, I think I'd settle for like 3D modeling, or just like anything, anything that's not
Yeah.
programming, because I suck at that.
Hmm.
Yeah. I know some people that do stuff in the medical space.
Oh,
Yeah.
nice.
Creating models for medical, doing films for medical, and like using
Hmm.
Banter to create films and stuff. Not Banter. I mean Blender. Sorry, another B word.
Blend.
Right, right, right. With an
um,
R in it too.
and
Yeah.
it's incredible some of the stuff they got do. It's just in
Yeah.
Blender, just amazing. Blender's
Yeah.
so complex for me because I just keep forgetting about it because I do Unity. And I get back to Blender, I'm like, oh, how do I do that again? And you got all these little weird things to do, and have to remember it, and it's just not fun.
It's so true.
Um,
If you're not
yeah,
in something all the time, I know how that is. Yeah.
yeah, yeah.
I use
So,
Maya.
Or you don't do a task all the time, like animation or something.
Oh,
Yeah.
Maya, yeah.
Right.
Maya,
So,
yeah, I
yeah,
hadn't
Yeah.
used that. Yeah.
Well, it's also
Only because
like
I
very
can't afford it.
humbling. I can't either. I do
That's
I
why.
have a student account, and
Oh, yeah.
you
See,
can
Yeah.
have
that's
it for
awesome.
a year.
Yeah,
And even though I just
right.
graduated, I just renewed it, so I should still have it for another year.
Oh, good. Yeah.
Yes.
Well, that's good.
So I
That's
get
good.
like an. But yeah, every time I jump into it, I'm like, oh, what am I doing again? How do I do this?
Yeah, yeah.
And
It's
then
like
I
you draw a blank. It's like I hate that feeling.
I hate that
Yeah.
feeling too.
I think that the part that really kills me is navigation, because you use Unity, or I
That's
use
true.
Unity,
Yes, definitely. The
Maya,
muscle memory. Yes.
right? And then you're just
I'm
like,
like
how
that
do
with
I
just being in banter. I'm like,
turn?
wait, where's the
And the
teleporting in?
coordinates are opposite here. They do it this way.
Yeah.
X and Y. Why
Yeah.
is this? And,
It's
the
true.
It's just like
coordinates
the
that,
small
yeah.
stuff.
Yeah.
And then I always have that like
And,
in the back
you know,
of my
when you
head.
get
I imagine.
good at muscle memory.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
That's what trips you up.
Just imagine someone in like being like a potential like boss or something, being like, "How do you not know this? It's obvious. You just do it." I'm like, it's not
Yeah.
that easy,
Not if
So
you're
saying
not in
other
it every day.
right?
I know.
It's easier
It's
for younger
Oh,
people than it is for older people. So
it's funny
pick up
because I
more
was like
stuff
in
that.
Adobe, like InDesign forever, like forever with my old job, and I used it recently, and I hadn't used it in maybe over a year or so, maybe like once or twice. And it's amazing how much I'm like, wait, where is that again? And I'm like, oh my god, I used to use this every day, but because I was out of it for a while, you
Yep,
know,
yep.
I mean, I found everything and it was fine, but like, you know, you just go, wait a minute, oh, it's been a minute,
Yeah.
yeah.
You doing anything with
And-
AI at all?
Kind
Me
of.
just
Sorry,
coding.
what's up?
I'm just joking.
Oh, yeah.
Sorry.
N-
That's how I
well,
code.
the code, yeah, for the festival, I made it so that the screen was, sorry, I made it so that the screen was in Unity, and I had to figure out how to do that. And then someone gave me the code to make the screen like appear and disappear, but it's actually like a JavaScript item. So it goes from Unity to HTML to JavaScript. And I couldn't figure out
Okay.
how to make multiple screens that appear and disappear simultaneously. And I just plugged it into like AI, and I was like, "Hey, how do you do this?" And it's just sped out the code, and it just worked. And I was able to kind of understand what it did, and I was like, "Oh wow, this is
Yeah.
cool. It works."
That's awesome.
And the other
I
thing
know.
I really want to do, I just haven't gotten to it, is I want to create a customized character and like an NPC in Worlds that you can talk to and give it information. So like there would be one for this event, and you'd be like, "Okay, who's the speaker today?" Or who have been past speakers, or what is this place?
Right.
So yeah,
How long is the event, or when's the next event? Yeah.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
I don't do a lot of like AI imaging. I use that more for concepting and like creating like a direction. And as far as like final products go, I'm like, no, I don't want the artifacting and like the obvious like here it is, because it is a large negative for people. Case in point, I saw somebody worked on like an ad for Fiverr, and it was nobody cares that you used AI. And on LinkedIn, everyone was like, "Yay, this is awesome!" And then I saw it as a sponsored ad on Facebook. I looked at all the ad or like all the comments, and almost every one of them was "I do care." So we're still in the point in time where people do care about AI artifacting in their images. So
I used it for my skyboxes in my game, but it was an artistic decision. It was on purpose. Yeah.
Which one did you use? Blockade or something else?
Blockade Labs. Yeah.
Yeah, Blockade.
Yeah. Because I was using that for a while. Yeah. But it's because it's making commentary about AI, so that's the reason for it. Yeah. Otherwise, I wouldn't have used it. Yeah. So.
Yeah, I'm
it
just
helped,
not
and
that
it helped make my surreal worlds look a
good
lot
on
more
graphics
surreal.
tools at all like that. Yeah, I mean, I saw stuff that Aline did in here for creating skyboxes, and it's just amazing what she's done. But I can't remember all that stuff. It's just so many steps you have to go through to get something to look right, as opposed to saying, "Just create this for me, and here it's done." It's like,
right?
Yeah.
It's
And as much as I want to like be like, AI is stealing
that's
everything.
Not into my workflow.
Yeah.
Right. It's one of those things where
it's
that
a little weird.
It's if you don't adopt AI in a meaningful way, then you're going to be left behind by all the people who are adopting AI and using it effectively. Not like the YouTube channels that just like throw content and it's all garbage. That's not the best way to do it, but like learning how to, like you were saying, put it in your workflow and make it actually work.
Exactly. I use AI for my workflow, meaning, coding is the main reason I use it. And then I used it for the skyboxes just because I was trying to make a commentary on AI and just ask some questions. But beyond that, it's mostly for coding. And then sometimes I like AI, like ChatGPT, to ask a really like focused question, maybe about marketing or something really specific. And I don't have anyone to talk to at that moment, and so I just like kind of want to hear a perspective, and then I decide if I want to take it or not. I think if you're a good thinker, good critical thinker, you're a good curator, you're a good editor, you can use AI as a tool, and then you, the human, make those final decisions. So that's why I like it. That's how I approach it too. Yeah.
I was in a marketing class.
I approach it like a graphic designer, looking for stock photos or something. I see it the same way.
How did you end up using social media?
I used